pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings that you've given us. Lord, thank you for this country we live in and the freedoms that we enjoy. Thank you for this community and this school that we have the opportunity to serve. Please be with each and every board member tonight. Give us wisdom. Everything that we do should be in the best interest of the students and the faculty. It's in Jesus' name, amen. So we'll call this meeting to order, 5:30 p.m. Of course, we do have a quorum present with 5 board members present, 2 absent. Public comments? Having done, this item is deliberation and possible action to rescind prior selection of job order contracting as the procurement method for the MISD new driveway project and resolution selecting job order contractor and to select competitive sealed proposals as the procurement method that provides the best value to the district for MISD new driveway project.
Okay. This is just rescinding what we did last time with Ideal and being able to change the procurement method. And so we have not rescinded, we had rescinded the cafeteria piece, we have not rescinded the driveway piece of the past. So this is just the cleanup, getting it ready for put out for our competitive seal proposals.
Okay. Have a discussion? Do we have a motion?
I move that we adopt and approve the resolution rescinding the prior resolutions selecting job order contracting as the procurement method for the Malta ISD new driveway project and Ideal Construction as the job order contractor and select competitive sealed proposals as the procurement methods that provides the best value for the district Malta ISD new driveway project.
Well said. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor? Raise your hand. It's unanimous. Next item is deliberation and possible action to delegate authority to the superintendent concerning the MISD new driveway project.
And board, all this does is allows me to work behind the scenes with architects and OBR to put the proposals together and put it out for bid, make sure we run through those pieces and then bring you back the rank ordering like we did last time. And so then it will be the board's decision to accept the top ranked person or persons for the driveway project and be a board decision to select them at that time.
Good. Any discussion? We have a motion.
I move that we adopt and approve the resolution delegating authority to the superintendent concerning the Malta ISD new driveway project.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Josh. All in favor? It's unanimous. Next is deliberation and possible action to determine the prevailing wage rate for the MISD new driveway project.
On this one, we've done a prevailing wages before, but it's been a couple of years, so it's just a recommendation that we go ahead and do that again. I recommend that we accept the prevailing wages as presented for this driveway project.
Any discussion? Do we have a motion?
I move that we adopt and approve the resolution determining the prevailing wage rate for the Malta ISD new driveway project.
Have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Tim. All in favor? Unanimous. Next is deliberation and possible action on change order modifying the architect's fees for the MISD new driveway project.
Okay, I'm gonna push it over to Robert to lead this part right here. And Robert, I did make a copy of the invoice that you sent to us this morning. And also made just a spreadsheet for the board to kind of see how we've been through time and how this affects the overall piece of it. So I don't think it's anything that you aren't fully aware of. I had to drive a bus today, didn't get a chance to hit send on the email, so I apologize for that. But we're going to turn it over to you and let you present that at that time. And Robert G., it's nice to have you in here. Appreciate you being able to jump in. I know you've been busy today.
Yeah, so I'm a little late. All right, no problem. Let's see, I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and I believe, as you mentioned, Dr. Sears, everybody's got a copy of this in front of them, so I'm going to just describe kind of where we are currently and what we're going to be, what kind of to expect coming up, and then I'll talk about the additional services and kind of where that's coming from. Jason, I had sent you a message while I'm going through this. Could you pull up the drawings, please, of the previous civil set that we did last year that was up to 100%, and then where we are now on that, we'll talk about that as well, just kind of compare the amount of work that it takes to get there, and kind of explain why we're going into why we're requesting additional services. So the invoice that you have hopefully in front of you there talks about kind of where we are. So we've invoiced up to $126,750, which you can kind of see here, which essentially is going through 100% construction documents. We were essentially finished with that phase, and that's when we got an updated cost estimate from Ideal Construction. And at the end of that estimate is when we decided, or the district decided to not pursue the project anymore. So we essentially shelved it at that time. If we had continued on, we would have invoiced, and at this point, I think the estimate that came back from Ideal was around 2.8 million. And our fee, this fee that we had invoiced for was invoiced based on a 2.6 million, and I think it came in at 2.8 million. And our fee is based on that, so it would have been 6.5% of the 2.8. Essentially, we assumed it was 2.6 up to the time it's bid, and then after that we adjust up or down, and then we adjust the invoicing where that we have invoiced previously to get us at the right place. So and essentially in our contract with the district, it says we're going to invoice 6.5% of whatever the bid price is. So all that said, any questions on that, by the way, before I move on?
Are we just talking about the road itself?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you just want to talk about the scope? Skip to the scope. Is that where we're headed?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so essentially moving forward from there, the civil, and I think most of the additional services, and let me skip over to what I sent to superintendent here. So the civil makes up most of the additional services request, and so that's at the 41,000. I did have it previously at 46,000 for civil, but after looking at it a little closer, the bidding and construction administration was included in their number, so I removed that 5,000 from there, which brings it to 41,000, and the total is actually 65,300. So that's what we're requesting for additional services to get there. So that is for these three items. There's some work involved for civil, as Jason will maybe pull up in just a second once we get through this. There's some work involved for them to regrade all of the site, because when the drive moves to one side, of course, there's some rework that needs to be done, calculations, drainage, and all that, and lighting as well that needs to be redone. For us, there's some work not only in doing the drawing, but also in preparation for a different type of bidding that we're going to be doing. So it's a CSP, which involves a little more preparation and a little more documentation and assistance in going through the bidding process, because previously it was Ideal that was doing all the coordination of the bids, and so now it's going to be kind of helping us. We will be helping the district go through that. So that's kind of where that comes from. And then if we go, Jason, if you can pull up, I'm going to stop sharing this, and if we can pull up the, just for comparison's sake, I want you guys to see what you're paying for, right? So there's a comparison not only of the drive that's moving over, and this is in a very simple 2D plan. It does look that way. Do we have a full set, Jason, that shows all of the work that they've done? We can get into the details if you'd like, but I don't know if you really want to go into all the nuts and bolts of everything, but there's a lot of sheets that are involved in the revision to go from moving the drive over. So Jason, do we have the CDs that were prepared previously? Can you pull those up?
Yeah, you know what we paid them today?
There you go, yeah.
So these would be
Set the
CDs
For the
for the drivers, and you have 34 sheets of civil drawings. So demo, what comes the demo all around there on the back side. Also included with that parking lot up there north of the elementary school. So they have all that in there, and obviously their topography, their erosion control, their grading plans, yeah, and their drainage sheets as well. They're part of the 34 sheets that they have.
Yeah, and so each one of those, essentially, it's almost like starting over for their what they're doing and what we've asked them to do here. So again, and yeah, this is an example too that of some of the level of calculations that they have to do. Yeah, this one, C113 for the drainage, because the site can't drain across anymore. And there are areas where we're going to still, because we're modifying the drive to not have curbs on it, so we're going to drain over the curbs, over the street. Some parts of the drive will still have curbs in order for them to control the drainage, and so again, that's part of the study that they have to go through to ensure that the site drains properly and that you're not going to have standing water around the drive at any time.
With the draining over the road, you're not worried about anything eroding or messing up over the road with that?
They'll have some swells that are going to be on either side, and again, the intent is for it to drain over and not standing on the drive itself. But yeah, the erosion is part of the calculation that they have to do, because if it's draining at a certain rate, they have to treat it with, or not treat it, but install all the riprap rock in order to maintain the erosion or control.
Yeah, kind of like this kind of stuff here.
Yeah. Yeah, at the drives where we're connecting to the highway, they're going to be doing some culverts to get underneath the drive, and so to maintain the drainage across there. So at the street, you're not going to have any issue with that, because they're going to control all of that there. It's the part of at the west end on the backside of the campus that is going to be draining over the drive, and it's a very shallow slope back there too. You kind of zoom in, Jason, on the left on the back drive there.
That's the
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, this is the original one.
Yeah, zoom in back there at the north end. Oh yeah, back then we had culverts we were draining underneath it.
Yeah, those are big box culverts that have to come across here. Yeah.
Right.
Why would we have water draining over the road? Why would you want that?
It's less expensive, and that was in order to minimize the amount, and that was again trying to meet the budget. So, and this one again came in at 2.8 million, and we're trying now to save about $1 million worth of development by reducing the length of the drive and adjusting how we're draining back there, so we're not disturbing as much back there.
Yeah, but didn't you have this drainage plan prior to us even going out for a bond?
No.
Really?
No, this all of this work that you're seeing on the screen now was done after the bond passed, and the early during the bond, it was an estimate that we were given by Ideal as to how much this drive would cost back there, without knowing any, because all of this takes time. To get a topographic map and a survey of the whole property takes about a month and a half to 2 months nowadays. So we didn't have the opportunity, and I don't think the district wanted to spend the money at the time to go through the effort. And we've never actually, during bond planning, we never go through this exercise to get a survey, because it's understood it's going to be later.
So there's no way to get for us to have had a good faith estimate to start with then?
It's a judgment call, and it's a budget. It's not really an estimate. It's hard to call it an estimate because it is really a guess, and it's establishing a budget at that time because we don't have all of the information. So it's just going on historical data.
But we still don't know what the road should cost, because we hadn't searched out bids for bringing in rock, bringing in sand, bringing in dirt, bringing in concrete, any of it, right? No culverts, no nothing.
That's why I understand no culverts. If we're gonna have water draining over the roads.
You're not gonna have water. It ain't gonna hold it. I don't care what you build up.
I don't know, it just don't make sense. All right.
So the $120 $126,000 that we have allotted so far was just,
If I can chime in here. Let me chime in real quick, and I hate to say I'm defending Jason on this, but I kinda am.
who's Jason?
But when we do our master planning and we project what the potential be, I wish we could operate under the same rules that your financial advisor does. That says we think we're gonna issue bonds at 5.5%, knowing full well that 5.5% bonds haven't been issued for 30 years. And then when they come back and sell the bonds, they're at 4.5% and they look like a hero. You guys, and rightfully so, have a high expectation that the numbers we put together on the planning side are going to reflect exactly what the construction costs are gonna be. But spending the upfront dollars to do the drainage studies, the topographic surveys, and the civil design for what the actual road's gonna look like, putting together a fairly accurate opinion of probable cost it's unrealistic on the pre-bond side. So I respect the fact that you depend on all of us to say, it looks like this is what we think it's gonna cost. But inevitably we find some surprises in there. And I think, unfortunately, Maud is caught in the middle between a CM that didn't get good coverage on his trades and was unrealistic on their estimates, and that's reflective of what we saw when we put the cafeteria out for competitive sale proposals. We got much more competitive pricing. But I say that to say, in support of what Jason's trying to say, is they didn't look at, and I understand you guys live with this on a daily basis, you've been there forever, and so you know when it rains, you've got these challenges. But it's hard to put that into a number on the front end. I think they did a pretty good job of identifying costs, but the actual design oftentimes yields challenges that we didn't see when we were looking at it from a conceptual standpoint. Now, Ideal did have plans that were potentially more aggressive than what they anticipated when they put their estimate together. But they actually had some pretty good plans that yielded cost, but I think they might also reflected some of the same things we saw in terms of inflationary numbers when they were presenting the cost of the cafeteria. But all that to say is, we polish our crystal balls as best as we can on the pre-bond side to come up with a number for you guys to go out and ask your voters for approval. I know this is coming out of fund balance, and so that's why I think we're all a little hypersensitive on, all right, let's try to get as much out of this as we can, and hence the redesign. It's costing a little extra, but I think at the end of the day, you're going to end up with a product that you're happy with, and gives you some long-term flexibility. So whatever that's worth, that's my 2 cents.
I feel like some of the hypersensitivity is actually because one time after another, we keep getting hit with much more expense than what we were led to believe. And it just continues on. And, but every time you get hit, you get a little more sensitive to it. I think that's the hypersensitivity that you're seeing from the board. Everything was underestimated. It seems like if you'd overestimated, and we'd have been throwing in extra stuff, kind of like that bond person, we'd probably been pretty happy. But everything went the other direction, and we're struggling, to give the community what we promised, based off the prices we were given. And you put us in a bad position.
And it's supposed to have some built-in leeway at that. And then now you're telling us we're gonna have a low water crossing on our driveway.
And again, we can do it as it's shown on the screen here. It's, we're controlling the water where it's not on the driveway, but it is a more expensive way to do it. Yeah.
I think the approach has some pragmatism to it. From maybe the 2 or 3 days a year, maybe some years more where you have a toad strangler, it does create a challenge, but the cost of creating, installing the box culverts, elevating the roadway and everything else relative to the long-term benefit to the district, I think the revised solution really provides a pragmatic approach that, one, saves some costs, and two, will serve you for 99.9% of the days throughout the year.
Hey,
And I appreciate your frustration, I really do.
hey, Robert, I think one of the big concerns is because of the boards, they all grew up here. And so when on those extreme days, I think the concern is going to be with any type of erosion control there. Can you speak to the erosion control measures that are going to be in those most aggressive places for water flow that can help mitigate any underlying damage to the road after it's built, and help us to, I think, reassure us that it's something that will stand the test of time, because once we build it, we need it to last 40 years.
Absolutely. Yes. Jason, do we have like a current progress step from civil engineer that we can pull up by any chance?
No, not yet. They were going to finish theirs. Yeah, I think they're going to send that over Monday. But this is just our latest plan here.
Yeah, so there's I can understand that there's some drainage that's going across the back, and that's where the most, especially right there by where the trees are, that's where the most slope is on the site. Where we are being more aggressive is up at the street, and we're going to have curves there, and making sure that entrance is going to not be causing any issues. The back will definitely, if I remember right, the last time that we had a conversation with our civil engineer was that he was going to have some swells on each side on the back, on the drives on the back. He was going to have some swells on each side of the drive so that there was no standing water. It was still going to drain off of the drive, so it wasn't going to be, it's not like it's the lowest point or that it's even flush with the grade next to it. It's just going to be kind of slowly flowing, the water sheet flowing over it, but it's not going to be flush completely. That's probably, as far as getting it closer to the desired budget, that's kind of where we're headed, and not doing, and it is going to be a much more, this is going to be a concrete drive. We're planning for this to be, a very durable, long-lasting drive. It's not going to be something that we're planning that's going to, wash away.
Jason, I'm guessing the expectation is downstream, we're likely to have some fairly aggressive riprap or something that would mitigate any erosion downstream of the roadway, right?
Yeah, this is Robert, by the way. So the area you're talking about, Robert, is that you mean down the slope to the west, to the back of the site, or along the highway?
To the back of the site.
Yeah, to the back of the site. Well, we're not. I don't think we're modifying anything beyond the drive downhill or down the slope from the drive, and we're leaving all that as is.
Now that's a 10-foot creek behind that thing. So where that fence line comes in, and that corner, come down right
where
there.
the trees are?
Right, yeah, come down right there. Up, go back up, north, go north and right there. There's that creek right there. It bottoms out to about 10 foot deep from the top. So that's why I think they know what it looks like in there. You can't see over the sides of it. And so there's quite a channel that does come down through there, and when it rains, it's full.
Everything's pouring down that direction. Yeah, we can, once we get our drawings on Monday, we can go through that again and just have you guys review it. And again, like we're going to do the best we can for the district that we can with the budget that we have. That's our goal. So we're definitely not going to issue anything without. And we need to delay. Once we get the drawings on Monday, and we need to make revisions to address any concerns. We'll do that. So that's as before. We work with with the district and Dr. Seegers before to get the cafetorium within budget for no extra fee, and that was because, you know, we're here with the district. We promised that we're bringing it under budget, and that was a goal for that project. And this one, the reason there's an additional service for this one is because my civil engineer has to basically start from scratch and redesign. So I really can't I can't absorb that cost in my fee. I mean, I've shown you the invoice shows what our fee is, and for him to make him whole, because he has gone through the whole design and has to start over again, that's a big chunk that I'm just not able to absorb on my fee.
Yeah, Robert G spoke to that with me earlier today. He said, Doc, you basically got a whole new set of plans, so, not what you want to hear, but it's just reality, so we got to take care of playing, you know, both sides of it, so.
Who shoots grade on all that? The civil engineer?
We had a surveyor go out that the district paid for that shoots all the existing grades out there, and the civil engineer uses that survey to make all of the changes and design. That's what he uses for his design. And then the contractor, when he gets out there, he'll reshoot the grades and to make sure that he hits all those grades that are designed as they are designed.
There was a team right here like in September or October 23. I don't remember that part, but they were around the place. They did a lot of, I may spend a lot of time here, so I really remember the little cafeteria. But I know they were here shooting grades. There's pins all around this place from that time. So, but yeah, I know they were here. Is there any other questions specifically to Robert or Jason or Robert related to that? All right.
We dismiss it.
All right. Hey, Robert, Jason, I will holler back at you. And Robert Gadwall, I appreciate y'all jumping on, and I will follow up with y'all afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Gentlemen, I think really the issue is, do we like it? No. You know, we know it's gonna cost us basically $100,000 more than what we originally thought on this. But in doing that, we're gonna save $1 million in concrete. That's gonna allow us to do this project, where otherwise we can't do it. And so, I don't like it. I know you don't like it. As much as I don't like it, I know you don't like it more.
I just don't like having my hands tied, and just, you have to. I just don't like it.
But I will say, you know, our Robert felt like you're in a bad spot. It
Grade has
sucks.
already been shot. The civil's, what we paid for has already, they didn't just shoot just what the road.
They shot everything.
They shot everything. Those things that you're talking about, that's gonna cost him a lot of money, it's plug and play. I mean, it's move some arrows here and there to an extent. $100,000 worth of moving arrows, that's a lot.
So I thought there was, it's not $100,000 for a new drawing, is it?
No, it's just the drawings itself that they're doing right now is the 65,000. That's 40 worth of the engineering, and the 20 whatever is with the
So,
architect. So it's 65,000 is what we're additional on that. But what I wanted to do was, because everything we spent above that line, Josh, in the, you know, back on this one right here,
Yeah.
basically it tabled, it's over here on another shelf.
Okay.
And so I plugged that 226,000 in to say, all right, we've spent that much. I can't get it back. I'm not gonna get a credit for it. So I plug it in for everything above construction documents, and then plugged in the 65,000 and what we can expect in their fees throughout this project to know where we're gonna end up. Cause I wanted to know what Rusty said, how much is it gonna cost?
yeah, what do you come up with as the final, without any changes?
Without no changes right now, on the architectural fees for the loop, I come up with 221,300. Now, that column right beside it, if everything had gone right, we hit it perfect, had everything to go with, 117,000 is what we would have come out with. But we ended up,
But here, here's the deal, why did we change it to begin with? One, we couldn't, because our budget. Two, they never gave us an answer what they were gonna do with that freaking oasis of water that's going down through there. They had no plan for it. So now, when we go back to it, and just like the water going over the road, and we say, no, we gotta add culverts and all this, that, and the other, and then that shoots that number up to a number we can't afford anymore. Now we're stuck with $200 and something thousand worth of goddamn architectural drawings that we can't even use. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go right down the street to DeKalb, Texas, where they're building all them roads, and there's a couple of good old boys, and they come over here and they say, we can build that road. We can do it for this right here.
But the long and short is we hired them to do a job, we asked them to change it, their skill there. And I came here ready to swallow this, just knowing we had no recourse.
We have no other
But
option.
when he used the word hypersensitive is when I got hypersensitive.
and rightfully so.
Well, what got me is when he said, we won't pay all this extra money for this redesign, but yeah, we're gonna have water flowing over the road. Okay, now if he would reword this as, hey, we're doing our best deal, we're gonna have covers there, but there may be occasion that water may come over the road, that we just can't, you
No, he
know.
flat out said it was coming over.
But as he
And
said it was coming over the road,
There's some
I understood
culverts.
it, it's coming over the road every time it's gonna rain.
Are we talking a culvert like this, or are we talking a culvert like
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
I can tell you right now, sometimes this is mentioned as a culvert.
Yeah, so that's what set me off. You know, we're paying to redesign, you should redesign it where water would flow underneath the road. Not across the top of the road, that's where we're gonna have a low water bridge.
Yeah, there's no way they can go back there without a core. There's, I mean, how many years did we coach football back there and just, it's a flood zone? I mean, there's no way, I don't see it. Not unless they build it up, put it on pillars, or they got, you build the road up, you gotta get water from point A to point B somewhere without
Yeah.
going, cause that's a lot of water.
Oh, that's why I said I want to know it's 10 foot.
Yeah.
Because it is 10 foot.
I mean, you come in and the grass would be just laid over. So it was moving.
Is there any kind of recourse if they build this road and it washes out?
Well, he said to me, the man said it wasn't gonna wash out.
Yeah.
We got him on record.
Is there any recourse if it does?
I would think if there is a washout, that obviously, because we used a architect, you know, we did everything right, there would be some recourse there to say, hey, it was a design fault. You know what I'm
Next week,
saying?
it's gonna be 20 years
So-
from now when you forgot who you even used.
That's why we're backing.
You're not gonna be here for
Yeah.
sure. I'm pretty sure not gonna be here.
Terry's putting in another 20.
No, I'm not.
I don't like it, guys. Here's the deal, I don't know you got it now. I mean, this is so used to it.
Yeah, there's nothing to do about it.
But like I said, we still gotta pay the fee, so might as well move on and see what the drawing ends up we get, so.
That's what I'm more upset about. The tack on to the redraw. When in his original drawing, when it showed it up, it showed the survey of the land.
Yeah,
And he cut a road in, and now he's saying he had to redo all of his numbers. No, you can't tell me there's not a calculator that they, or a program, they put that in, and
I've
it
seen
probably
their
took
programs,
him.
it's the same stuff that
20
we use.
minutes.
I'm telling you, all you do is just drag it all out here and it just starts filtering all that in. I mean, it just moves it, and that little curlicue that looks like a tree or a bush, I mean, just move it a little curlicue.
That's the only thing, you know, that, because they know we have money. They get to see that when they come up here, so they're like, we're in it to win it. That's what makes me mad.
Now,
But
I agree.
is there anything I can do about
I
it?
do agree with them, they did make some
That's the
changes to their numbers when we got ready to.
And the piece in this is we did save over $1 million of taxpayer money. It was the right thing to do, to change it.
That's the only way we can try to, and the road is the one that's got even more attention than the cafeteria in the community.
Yeah, but what I don't want to do is get a phone call and go, hey, I had to drive through 6 inches of water this morning when I went through y'all's new road.
Or there is no more road.
again, over again. How do I get my kid in there? Because there's a 24-foot gap in there.
Well, I do feel good with Robert G. as a civil engineer. You know, that, for him to say he thinks it's a good design, I don't think he would say it would be a good
Robert
process.
G., who are you talking about?
Arkansas lives on low water bridges. So
OBR.
I mean,
I know
The one that works for us.
but that's out in the country, you know, they're not up here on a school campus.
No, he is, remember, we hired him strictly for consulting for the district, you know, as the middle person in between.
He's our guy that comes in
Yeah,
and sits.
yeah, talk
I
to
didn't know his
us.
last name, G.
Yeah, Gedwalk. We got two Roberts on this, so I just, Robert G. And so, you know, he's a civil engineer by trade, that's his deal. And he's strong in that area, you know what I'm saying? And so, for him to say, I think.
So he doesn't badmouth this at all.
He don't like it. He's a doc. It tastes terrible. There's nothing you do about it. But if you want to build it, you gotta accept it and move on.
I kind of want to trust the guy.
there's no win out of that.
No, there's no
win
good.
for us.
There's no
win
good
for us out of that.
Except it's dialed back considerably.
Except saving
and then we
taxpayers
can
$1
save
million.
enough money to build this and also be able to go into our van.
Because even the other road was going to have water on
That's
top
what
of
I'm
it.
getting
I
at,
promise
Josh.
you.
They don't know. They can draw it up, make little curlicues, put crayons on it all they want. The engineers are the ones gonna say, you cannot do that, you're going to change it. So what I'm saying is, every time they change it, am I seeing another fee come across?
No, if it's their fault, if their drawing don't work and the engineer comes back to them, that should be on them. We shouldn't have to
That
pay
should
for
be on
that.
them.
We paid for a
Because we paid
product
for all
that
that.
You
they
see what I'm
screwed
saying,
up.
though?
They
You
should
know
be-
what an engineer's gonna tell them, hey, this ain't gonna work.
You're right, but if they do, it should be on them.
Make sure we follow up on Robert talking about the riprap being on the backside.
Okay.
And then that guy said, no, we don't have anything.
I think
past
there's
the
got to
road.
be something on the backside.
I heard him say that though.
No, but that's where I was.
When he asked about that, he said, no, there's really nothing back behind.
Exactly.
So make sure that that's followed up on with Robert Gadwall. That he follows up on that.
I don't like it, guys, and I don't wanna lose sleep over it or cause another gray hair. But this is who we got, and this is who we gotta move forward with, and just throw it up in your prayers at night that it all works itself out. So. But they don't have a number, do they, on what this project's.
That's the 1.8 that they're estimating there. You know, and that's where they put their little map over it and this much square footage and concrete and dirt work goes for this much a square foot. That's where they're coming.
Today.
Yeah.
So after we get through with this though, we're done with that then, right?
Yeah, we're going out to bids.
Okay.
Well, we'll have them for completing the band hall. We contracted with them for that.
Because it was all in.
But we're not changing nothing there.
That's been pretty much set from day one. There hasn't been a whole lot of anything there that would be unique to it. You know, I know we moved a couple little walls here and there, but nothing substantial.
I think I did hear we saved $5,000 off questioning, so.
Yeah, we did. We saved $5,000. You know, that was.
Yeah, we made them get a one more Zoom.
And so
We got that too.
It charges 4 times more for
No,
so-
they went down.
But we'll have the road work, and I expect that piece to go pretty fast. You know, like I said, we turn the dozers loose. Those guys know how to make a road, and so that'll go. All right. But anyway,
All right, so just to be clear, what are we finna,
well, let me make a recommendation, or
We're going
my
to
recommendation is
change the order modifying the architect
do the
fees.
change order fee.
all right guys, this one we gotta eat anyway, so.
All right, we have a motion.
I move that we approve or reject the change order requested by the architects for the model ISD new driveway project.
Approve it.
We're gonna approve.
Well,
We'll approve the,
yeah.
yeah. I move that we approve the change order requested by the architects.
We had the choice.
Yeah,
We're all struggling there,
you
tears
know,
swallowing
we're
that.
struggling now, I know.
We have a motion to approve the change order modifying the architect fees. We have a second.
Go, Doc, all right.
Got got a hand up here. Do we have a second? Second by Rusty. All right, I'll bet. All right, it passes. Happily.
Thought like fell out.
Oh, doggy.
All right, we're gonna go into executive session at this time to discuss personnel according to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Discussion of personnel.
Thanks, Doc, I needed that.
We're going into executive at
6:10.
6:10 in 30 seconds. We're back in open session at 6:20 PM. Next item on the agenda is adjourned. Do we have a motion?
I make that one.
Have a motion? We have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous. All right, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Miss Holly, if you'll hit our green button, you'll kill our camera.